This one is made by a YouTube channel, I shit you not, with only 300 likes, and it's gotten 25,000 views in a day. So I wanted to watch this, and he's also doing this disabled likes and monetization, doing this shit for the love of the game, which is crazy. Apparently Logan Paul's scam situation just got worse. Logan Paul, it's a shame because I want to like this guy. I really want to like this guy. On WWE, his personality's great. He plays good characters on live television. He's a great professional wrestler, and I love wrestling. However, who he is as a person and how he treats his community and his audience is very concerning because he treats them like pay pigs rather than real people. He scammed them so many times, it's ridiculous. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the newest scam situation. Let's get into it.
Because I have the most expensive Pokemon card around my neck, and
yeah, let's see it.
Superman.
Oh my God.
The one of one.
What?
This might be one of the strangest collections.
Which was so lame because if you look at the card, there's no way it's above a PSA 8. And he just kept on resending it in until somebody fucked up and gave him a 10. In my opinion, that's what happened. I can't believe that card got rated as a 10.
Stories in years. Logan Paul somehow found himself right in the middle of another messy situation, and this time it pulled in the entire Pokemon and trading card world around 2022. He jumped in headfirst, spending massive amounts on rare cards and sealed boxes.
It is crazy because the Pokemon community has never had more vultures in its history for the cards. And now people are treating Pokemon cards like the stock company. And the worst thing is it's actually working. It's actually fucking nuts.
Turning it into non-stop content.
Now you can just buy a token on Liquid Marketplace to own high value, top tier assets that you cannot get anywhere else, right? Like these are...
At one point, things even went sideways when he got scammed, adding even more chaos to the story. And that's when things took a turn. He later teamed up with a group of investors to roll out something called the Liquid Marketplace. The idea sounded slick. People could buy small ownership pieces of real-world items like trading cards or sports collectibles. Supposedly...
Yeah, or like taking piece in his $16 million Pokemon card. Like, I get it. It makes sense, but trusting Logan Paul with a business opportunity... I would just not do that shit. And what happened to him plugging Prime all the time? Has that shit gone out of business? Or why do I not hear about it anymore?
Blockchain tech was running everything quietly in the background, making it seem modern and secure.
I will be listing this card on a platform that I co-founded called Liquid Marketplace. It allows co-ownership of top-tier assets. So instead of one person, me owning this card, we as a collective can co-own it together. I'll be retaining 49% ownership of the card. So I won't actually have access to it. It'll be in our vault. But if I want to wear it out to fights or a Pokemon box break, or maybe even put it in a museum one day, the community can decide if we want to do that.
And this is what
I'm good, bro. Out of all the people who I want to get into business with, Logan Paul is not one of them. You have to be a fucking idiot to fall for this shit.
Really got people locked in. The biggest hook was Logan offering fractional ownership, 51% to be exact, of one of the rarest Pokemon cards out there, a PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator.
Hell no.
That alone had collectors and investors watching closely, thinking they were getting a piece of something legendary. Now jump ahead a few years, and the whole Liquid Marketplace situation has pretty much fallen apart.
There it is.
Legal issues started popping up, and from the outside,
like he scammed his entire audience with Crypto Zoo. Do you think he's not going to do that shit again? And he bounced back. Everybody's forgotten about Crypto Zoo. And now somehow he's still moving forward with another business venture. It makes no sense.
It looks like Logan slowly stepped away from the project. He later went on Twitter claiming that in 2024 he bought back the fractionally owned share of the card, saying it followed the original agreement terms, but the situation still has people raising eyebrows. After all that, he started talking about the platform like he barely had anything to do with it, which honestly caught people off guard.
Yep.
That's wild, especially since he had positioned himself as the main face of the Liquid Marketplace more than once, front and center like it was his project. And that's exactly why things blew up when he later revealed he was teaming up with Ken Golden from the Netflix show King of Collectibles to auction off that same Pikachu Illustrator card.
There it is.
People weren't just confused, they were heated because this move didn't line up with what they were originally told. Under this deal, Logan was expected to get a big upfront payment plus a cut from whatever the card sold for at auction. That alone triggered a wave of backlash, with people questioning how this even made sense given the earlier promises.
When we have a high-profile item, an expensive item such as the PSA 10 Illustrator that was a 9 several times before it got a 10, that is not the case, even though this thing clearly is not
Facts.
a 10. In my opinion.
The biggest question
Obviously, it
started
wasn't.
spreading fast. What happened to the fractional own?
That's the thing with PSA, man. Their reputation has gone down the drain, bro. I swear to God, PSA just be making up numbers at this point. And 100% they can be bought out. If you tell a PSA member you'll give them $10,000 to write a PSA 10 on there, I guarantee you they will do it. There is no way they won't.
Ownership. What about the people who believed they owned a share of that card? Some voices in the community, including Rattle Pokemon, pushed back hard, even arguing that the card never should have been graded a PSA 10 to begin with. He pointed out several claimed flaws in the grading process, suggesting the card might have been submitted multiple times until it finally got that perfect score,
100%.
turning it into what many called the Holy Grail. As expected, the reaction online has been intense, and there's no shortage of posts calling Logan out over the whole situation. But before getting into all of that, there was another update that
Everybody knows that PSA is full of shit right now, and those who don't, you will learn that soon.
caught attention. Logan shared that Liquid Marketplace had announced unclaimed funds were now available to withdraw. He even dropped a link to the site, which had been offline before, saying users could log back in and recover their money. But here's the twist. Based on what's come out, it doesn't really look like investors ever truly owned the asset the way many thought they did, which only adds more questions to the situation.
You telling me that people bought partial ownership of a card and they didn't have partial ownership of a card, and this isn't... How does this dude survive all of this provable wrong shit that he's done? It makes no sense to me, bro. It legit makes no sense. I can't imagine unironically trying to scam your audience with this shit, bro. That's actually fucking gross.
Over the past month, Logan has been pushing this auction hard, non-stop, and sticking to a pattern people have already noticed. Anytime someone brings up criticism, they get blocked fast, no hesitation. One example came from a now-deleted post where Logan wrote, "Goodbye, my friends. What a privilege it's been to be the owner of the greatest collectible in the world. From Guinness World Records to WWE, debuts Netflix to national news." He kept going, saying, "This card and I have been on a generational run. Tomorrow night, she finds a new home on Golden Auctions." But not everyone was buying into the hype. One person replied, "Liquid Fraction owners, remember? They once co-owned this Pikachu card, LOL." And just like that, they were blocked. That pretty much sums up the energy around this whole rollout. At the same time, Logan was flooding timelines with flashy, high-intensity promo clips, the kind he's known for.
I spent $5.3 million on this Pikachu card because Pokemon has outperformed the stock market by 3,000% in the last 20 years. Meaning this is now worth more than all of these watches, these cars, and probably this dinosaur. Because it is the only perfect PSA 10 Pikachu illustrator in existence. And now, I'm letting it go.
That stressed me the fuck out. Just him dropping it from his hand. That gave me a jump scare. Oh my God. I fucking hate people who have this much money where they can do goofy ass shit like this. I can't believe this dude sold partial ownership of cards, told people we will all make the collective decision on what we will do with it, and anybody who said we don't want to sell it was blocked. That's crazy.
Oh, this grail is going up for auction on Pokemon's 30th anniversary. The crown jewel of the highest grossing franchise in the world. Someone is going to own the Guinness World Record setting card that I hunted for years. It is the very...
To be fair, he knows exactly how to grab attention and keep people watching. He clearly understands that controversy drives attention, and this situation proved it again. Still, these dramatic promos only made things louder, especially...
It's just a shame because he could pay back all of the people who he scammed over the years and make an honest living just doing professional wrestling. Like, I don't get why these people with $40, $50 million net worth think, well, I need $100 million. Bitch, for what? There is no way anybody needs this much. Like, somebody needs to teach this man that enough is enough with this shit, bro. It's like the pursuit of greed is destroying this guy's life.
Since his
or at least other people's, but eventually karma will catch up to him.
Comment sections are often shut down, leaving people with no place to respond directly. Then the big moment finally hit. The auction wrapped up last night. And when a massive $12.5 million bid dropped, Logan's reaction said everything.
Current bid on the illustrator, $12 million. No way. No way. No way. What? No way. No way, bro. No way. No way, bro.
One more big's a new record all time. 12.5 million.
No way, bro. Ken's whole team. I think they did it. We now have the record. The most expensive trading card of all time. $13 million.
You could hear him repeating, "No way, bro," over and over, clearly stunned by what was happening right in front of him. Moments later, it became official. The sale broke records, making it the most expensive.
Doesn't it annoy the fuck out of you that you're out there working a 9-to-5 job you hate for a boss who treats you like shit, and this motherfucker just made $13 million off selling a Pokemon card and then scamming the people who helped him get it? And that's going to have zero repercussions, bro.
Expensive card ever sold at auction. It even passed the previous record tied to a Kobe Bryant card, which is wild to think about. But at the same time, there's still that lingering question. What about the people who thought they owned a piece of this card through the liquid marketplace? Now, years later, they're being told they can finally pull their money out, which only adds another layer to an already messy situation. Right. Because none of that other stuff matters, right? Who cares about inflation eating away at that money while it sat locked up? Who cares that people couldn't touch their own funds for all that time?
Why? I have never been shown a Mizkif clip consensually. Jesus Christ.
That cash could have been used for something smarter, something that actually grew in value. Maybe someone had a medical situation, maybe rent was due, maybe life just hit hard out of nowhere. But nah, forget all that. Logan's out here celebrating, breaking records, champagne popping, confetti flying like it's a movie scene.
Hey, watch the cards. Everyone's yelling at me. Party at the Golden House tonight. Oh, no.
The contrast is wild when you really look at it. And honestly, getting older changes how you see this stuff. At this point, it feels like stepping into full UNC mode, realizing something that doesn't sit right.
We're not done yet. With this new bid, $13,144,000.
Who is paying this
I don't
much?
even know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's incredible.
Sometimes people who play the game like this still come out on top, and not just once in a while, but over and over again.
True.
That pattern starts to feel less surprising and more expected, which is crazy to think about. At one stage during the auction, bids shot up to around $16.5 million.
Who is paying $16.5 for a Pokemon card? It's not even a cool one. It's not even Charizard. It's just an Illustrator Pikachu. What does it even do? We certify that your illustration is an excellent entry in the Pokemon card illustration contest. Therefore, we state that you are officially authorized Pokemon card illustrator. Okay. I don't know why this is worth $16.5, but all right. I guess. Okay.
And then they brought the winning bidder right up on stage like it was part of the show.
Tony Mucci. He's a film director, and we have been fans of Pokemon since we were kids. Oh my God. This was the right way to start the treasure hunt.
You just starting?
I just started it, baby.
Bro, that is so epic.
That moment alone felt like a whole production, not just a sale. And here's something else that stands out the more you think about it. When people reach a level where money is basically unlimited, something shifts. You'd think there'd be a stopping point, but it doesn't work like that. It turns into chasing more. More headlines, more attention, more records, more everything. The drive doesn't slow down. It just evolves into something louder.
This is bigger than the card. It's bigger than me. I don't even understand what's happening right now, but it's surreal, dude.
I think this is a great first acquisition for that treasure.
I fucking agree, man.
Oh my God.
I agree, dude.
You're a gangster. You are fearless, bro.
The whole scene honestly looked like two wealthy guys celebrating another massive flex, just taking it to the next level. One of them even showed up in a Pokemon onesie talking about filmmaking, which just added to how surreal the whole thing felt.
Go to treasuretrove.com.
I'm so intrigued.
It's all just an ad, bro.
At Treasure Trove on Instagram.
And of course, the buyer looked beyond excited. Someone just dropped $16.5 million on a single card, which is insane no matter how you
And he paid the people who bought assets, right? Surely he did.
spin it. But let's be real, there's nothing groundbreaking about spending inherited wealth at an auction like this.
True.
You can't really ignore how over the top the whole moment felt either. Then came the big handoff, Logan
Jesus, it's so fucking gay. It's insane.
passing the card over like it was some kind of legendary artifact, turning the whole thing into a dramatic finale. And then things got even more over the top. The whole celebration came off like a full-on performance. Champagne spraying everywhere, loud applause, cameras flashing nonstop like it was some historic moment, and right there in the mix, Ken Golden standing in the background like this was the biggest event the collectibles world has ever seen. Then, right on cue, another Guinness World Record gets handed out, another plaque, another title, another headline added to the pile.
Logan Paul,
Logan, you get it.
Ken Golden,
Yes.
tonight you sold the PSA 10 Pikachu Illustrator card for $16,492,000.
I also think Guinness Book of World Records has been completely bought out as well. Like the whole Dude Perfect scene, Mr. Beast scene, where like every video breaks a new world record. I think it's all fucking fraudulent, bro. These records, these titles, they used to mean something and now they mean nothing.
On behalf of Guinness World Records, I can now confirm you have achieved a new record title for the not only for the most expensive Pokemon card ever sold at auction, but also the overall record for the most expensive trading card ever sold at auction.
Meanwhile, the people who once believed they owned a piece of this card are now hearing, hey, you can log back in and pull out your original funds. That's it. No growth, no upside, just access to what they already put in, which
No way. No way they didn't get an increased price based off of what it was sold for. Oh, no shot. That is beyond fucked up.
raises even more questions. But it didn't stop there. During that same live stream, Logan rolled out his next big project, and honestly, it feels way too familiar. The whole thing is being
Nah, there's no way. Holy, that's horrible. I mean, man, I can't believe Logan Paul scammed more of his audience. That's crazy, dude.
marketed as the
Called it, by the way.
future of collecting, but the structure has people doing double takes.
What is up, collector? Rip It is coming soon, and you're gonna want to be first in line. So we're
Nah, I'm good. Yeah, nah, I'm good. Pass.
growing our wait list for users to get early access and to give back to the day one collectors who help us grow this thing. Top referrals
Fuck
can
no.
climb the leaderboard to get rewarded with things like the holographic pull from this first edition heavy pack, a $30,000 base set unlimited box, and a PSA 9 first edition Lugia valued at roughly $7.
You're
You
getting
can only do PSA 9? That's it, Logan? What's going on, man?
VIP style access to pack openings tied to real graded cards with options to instantly cash out, store items in vaults, or have them shipped straight to you. Sound familiar? Because it mirrors that same idea of digital access connected to physical collectibles, just packaged differently this time. They even added
Yeah.
a leaderboard.
Let me just make it very clear cut for everybody. If Logan Paul is telling you to invest in something, don't fucking do it. There's just no way anybody can be this stupid. Just stop. If Logan Paul is talking, he's lying. Can these people stop listening? Because it's honestly a big part their fault there as well for just being that dumb to go to the scammer who scammed like 30 times at this point.